catch, good run after catch. And I could just tell when you watch film that he loves football, man. And he's out there, he's doing his thing.
Is he the best receiver you guys faced this year?
Yeah, most definitely.
Denzel, there have been guys occasionally, and I'm not necessarily going to name names, but who have shied, if in fact they are leaving, afterwards, have shied away from getting into a matchup with big-time players in bowl games, just because it might expose something. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, it might expose something about their game that might hurt them at the next level, or they think it will.
I'm talking about our receivers, right?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about guys like you, cornerbacks, going against, certain receivers through the years and stuff. Why do you want this challenge?
I really just, I want to be able to go out there and compete and to be able to show that, I can guard any receiver in any conference and to be able to go out there and, hopefully get my hands on some balls and, more touching the ball, more interceptions, more money. So, my job is to go out there and really just have fun, trust myself, trust my technique, and continue to do what I've been doing.
You've got to make
when Marv and Emeka were taking those reps away from Chris and here 2 years ago in the Rose Bowl. Is there anything about what Brandon and Carnell are doing, where they're at development-wise, that you can see a parallel to them, or are they? Obviously Emeka and Marv are very high up there. Is there a big gap in your mind? I'm not trying to throw them under the bus or anything.
Nah. I would say, for me at least, I always thought that Carnell was one of the better receivers on our team, top 3 receivers on our team. He just didn't get an opportunity just because of, older guys and, they've been in the system longer. But the gap between Carnell and the guys that been here, Meg, Marv, and receivers before me is really not that much of a big gap. And a year from now, he's going to be known as one of the best.
You've been asked about Carnell and Brandon. What have you seen from Noah and Bryson as freshmen?
Noah, he's a really good receiver, long strided, very awkward, but that really works to his advantage because the type of receiver he is. He knows how to get open, he has good hands, and
Awkward like a baby gazelle? Or?
Awkward just like the way he just runs because he's just so fast and long. So it's just sometimes it's just weird, hard and weird to guard. He's a hell of a receiver.
I know that there are a lot of factors going into your decision on whether to come back or not. How much is the unfinished business part of it, not having beaten Michigan, Big Ten championship, all that stuff? How much is that a factor?
Yeah, that's a big factor. Especially for me, man. I want to be a top 10 pick, and and not only that, but to have something to show for down the road, to be able to show my kids and my family. When I was at Ohio State, we won something, and that's playing a big factor for me. And when the time comes, you guys will know what I do.
And what I've seen, I haven't studied the draft that much, but I've seen you, borderline first-round pick, second round, whatever it might be. If you had a really good year, you could do like Chris Olave, obviously a different position, go from that kind of spot to 11th or top 10. How big of? That's a huge gap in terms of
big money swing.
That's exactly right. You're well aware of that, obviously. Mm-hmm. How much of a factor is that?
It's a big factor. You said it what it is already, and it's a big factor for me and big factor in my decision. Yeah, I ain't trying to tell you. I will eventually.
What kind of growth have you seen from Calvin this year?
He has a lot of ways to go. He's still young. We're still teaching him the ropes, and he's gonna be up next when the time comes.
Lorenzo, how have you seen him take to the corner position in his first year?
He's gotten a lot better. He came in a little raw, but he's doing way better now. Really adjusting to the nickel spot, the dime, and eventually, when his time comes to play on the field, he will be good.
I don't know if you've been asked about this before, maybe you have, but do you think it was a benefit to play as early as you did and start from basically day one, or do you think guys, especially the cornerback position, can benefit more from developing, sitting behind some older guys? I know you didn't have that opportunity, but just from your experience.
Yeah, honestly, I would just say it's hard. If you come in and you're really locked in and you're balling and you're outperforming the guys in your position, go ahead. If you take that spot, go ahead and take it. But if you have the opportunity to sit behind some guys that are really doing their thing, balling on the field, have production, and you're able to sit behind those guys and just watch and pick some of the things that added to your game, I feel like that could benefit you even more than just coming in right away. Because if you look at it from a receiver standpoint, even Marv, he's watching Garrett, he's watching Chris, he's watching Jackson, and when he had his chance in the Rose Bowl, the last game of the season, he did his thing, and he's really just picking up off the guys that he's watching all year. And if you go to the corner, like if you do that, and you like, especially back then when you retrace to like Marshawn Lattimore, Denzel Burke, Gary Colley, like Denzel Burke, he wasn't really starting right away, and he came in, he's watching all the guys in front of him, and he was a first-round pick just like the guys before him. So I feel like it benefits you a lot.
Regardless of your decision, what's it been like to watch over these 3 years the transition from being so thin at corner that they had to put you out there on opening day to the depth that you have now and the depth you're going to have even more, I guess, when this freshman class comes
I wouldn't say they ain't just put me out there. I earned that spot.
Sure.
I earned that spot, but can you repeat that last part?
Just the way that this room has transitioned over 3 years from the depth that you have now, the quality
Yeah,
depth.
the depth is awesome now. I feel like the room this year, the DB corner room, is the tightest it's ever been. And I'm glad that we brought BIA back, and Coach Juan is really the big focal point of this group, and he's really helped us. He's really helped us out here.
When did you feel like it was bad? BIA?
I'll say it's mid-season. Mid-season, we were doing our thing, and that was really just one of our big goals this year. Just, be the number one passing defense, be the number one in efficiency, be the number one in explosive plays, and, show the world that the world, but the recruits that are coming up under us. This is BIA, and if you come here, you will get the money, then you will be in the first round.
You asked about a bunch of guys. Jermaine Matthews, obviously a freshman who played very well. What would you want to say about his?
Oh, he's a dog. He's going to be the next up, honestly. He just got to pick up some of the things off the field. But besides that, man, sky's the limit.
Hey, Denzel, while we're asking about a bunch of young receivers, do you have any thoughts on Jeremiah Smith?
Man, especially me. I gotta see bro in person. All that high school stuff is cool, but when you got a elite corner line across your face, let me see what you can do. I heard he's a 5-star, he can move, but let's line up, man. We'll find out.
What are the biggest things Coach Walton has done to bring you guys closer together, like you said?
Really just learn the game, a lot of bonding outside the field, a lot of life skills in the meeting room. Like sometimes we don't even watch film, like we just talk about life and how to move as a pro, what it's like in the league, what they look at, what you can't do. And he's really just giving us the blueprint of life. And we love that man, and we're so glad he's our corner coach, man. We hope he never leaves here, because he changed my life, he changed the corner room's lives, and he can change lives, going forward.
Yeah, we see a lot of the videos he posts on social media, him doing the rhymes and stuff. Just like, what do you guys like about that?
I mean, he's just him, like every day. Like that's just him daily, and we appreciate him, and nothing phases him, and he doesn't benefit nothing from us. He's not getting a cent from us. He just wants to see us win and succeed, and at the same time, he just wants us to have fun and have some type of comfortability in the room and on the team.
Hey Denzel, speaking of the signing class, Miles Lockhart, corner out of Arizona. What makes Arizona corners special?
It's Arizona, man. I just feel like we got some type of dog to us, some type of grit to us. I guess you could say a lot of Arizona recruits and kids, we kind of looked at as underdogs, not really the ones that, not like the first choice, colleges are coming to look at. But, we have something to us, man, and we want to be able to put on for our state and our city, and because there's not that many of us in the league.
You guys have to deal with the heat too, right? You have to be tough because the heat.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, what's it like? I mean, I know dry heat. It's still 110 degrees. How hard is it to play in that?
I mean, it's tough. It's horrible, but once you grow in it, like you get adjusted to it, it's really not that bad. You just got to be able to know when not to be outside.
Jelani Thurman, grown up in the last couple of weeks. I mean, what have you seen from him?
Yeah, he is growing up. He's still got a lot of ways to go. That tight end spot, just watching it for the past 2 years, like that's probably one of the hardest spots. Like that spot's really underrated. And there's a lot of stuff you got to do. You got to crunch ball, you got to block, you got to delay, you got to come out, you got a whole bunch of stuff. So sometimes you might have a route tree of receiver. So that's a lot to take in, and you just got to be locked in.
What part's he gotten better at from your vantage point? I know you don't cover him, all the time, but
I would say blocking, knowing what he has to do, knowing his assignments, knowing when to motion, knowing when to shift, knowing when to be in the right spot, knowing when to shut a block, knowing when to,
yeah. But the potential is there, though, right?
Potential is there. Long, big hands. gonna be a problem.
Have you been facing Lincoln Keenholz more now in ball practice, ones versus twos? Have you gotten to see him more now?
Who?
Lincoln?
Yeah, ones versus twos when he's in there. He got a lot of ways to go. He just has to be better with his decision making. But he goes through his reads. He's been better with his decision making, and he has a lot of ways to go for sure.
You mentioned how you earned that spot as a freshman. You mentioned how ready Carnell was, but a lot of these other guys, you said they've got a lot of ways to go. Like, what is maybe the thing that you see in a player that tells you they're ready to play?
Really, just your attitude off the field, like how you interact with people. Not just that, but like when you're on the field, just like how intent you are with your routes. You know, how intent you are with practice, how hard are you playing, and and if you're helping other guys get better, and that's when I really know when you can play and you're not just doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for the team.
Was that something you feel like you just had innately that allowed you to play quicker than a lot of freshmen?
Say that again?
Is that something you feel like you just had innately that allowed you to play quicker than a lot of freshmen?
For me, I guess you could say like what really helped me was my trainer back home, my mentor too, kind of helped me. When I came up here, just be ready for the situation, and I was already ready when I came up, and he's helped me a lot. And some of the questions, he already answered all of them when I came up here. So like, I feel like I was already like 2 pages ahead of everybody when I got up here, and just having a great mindset and being a dog and being competitive.
Who was that mentor that helped you?
He's low key. I don't need to put him out there for real. Yeah.
If you guys all come back on defense, or at least most of you, how good will this defense be next year?
So we're going to be the #1 defense coming into next year. A lot of vets, a lot of seniors, a lot of guys who play a lot of ball. Honestly, it will look scary. It will look scary.
How much of an incentive is that for all you guys
It's a
coming?
big incentive. It's a big one.
January 10th.
January 10th.
You made up your mind, but you can't tell us.
Yep.
Oh, that's your day of announcement? Okay.
All right, we'll wrap things up. Great.
Thanks, Denzel.
Thank you so